Everybody wants to dig up buried treasure, but how do you find it without a map? Leetonia had help with that part. An unexpected find in a former church. Today I learned how they found it and what was inside. The sound treasure hunters know.
Oh wow, there is metal in the cornerstone.
This was the search for a time capsule. Leetonia's mayor got a call from a woman whose great-grandfather had been the Emmy Church's pastor and said she had found papers saying the capsule was there.
I took a special heart to it, and it's unique because it connects us now to time in the past, from the 1880s, and just show how the community grew and developed.
Tom Jack used a hammer and chisel to find the time capsule near the building's cornerstone, installed in 1887.
And once we flipped it over, we're like, yes, it was actually there. It was like a lot of work to get here, but it was well worth it.
The box was labeled and dated June 10th, 1887. Inside was an old church hymnal, a book explaining the church's doctrine, newspaper articles from the Leetonia Democrat telling the big stories of the day, and 9 coins, including a V-nickel and another dated from 1749.
There's coins here from before we had a currency as a nation, and I'm like, that's pretty amazing.
I'm fascinated by the coins because I know that's something everybody stood around at one point and put all those things in that box.
The church was offering hope in Leetonia until closing recently. The original members felt comfortable enough to include some history in the first bricks and had no idea it would be so well received.
You didn't need diamonds. The history alone was well worth the find.
What were they thinking and what was the significance of each item? We don't know.
The next step is getting the items preserved properly. There's plenty of damage from being in that time capsule for 135 years.
It's very important to show our community and all the people who came here or who live here that this is part of your history and how you became to be.
Well, the church is now home to Legacy Christian Home Care. The next step is to preserve the capsule findings before putting them on display for the entire community to see. And Leetonia feels they show an important part of the village history, just like the coke ovens.